Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC Singapore Holloway versus Zombie. We are back. To recap a very fun card. Definitely was worth waking up way too early and enjoying some fights. It was a very fun card. Very few problems I have with it, and I'm very excited to recap it. I'll get to the elephant in the room. I'm sorry this is coming out on Monday, but I do always say 1 p.m. EST or 10 a.m. EST for recaps. And I decided to do the 10 a.m. because I was tired after being up at 5 a.m. for a bunch of fucking fights. So I think you can understand. But we're here now, and yeah, I'm ready and excited to talk about this card after letting it sit in for more time than usual. So yeah, really don't got much more to say besides please like, comment, sub. 100 subs go by the end of the year. And as always, you want to recap some fights? I do. 13 fights, same as in the breakdown, and one of the first cards in a while with no cancellations. So, I love it, and let's begin with the first fight of the night, as we have Sung Woo Choi, Sting Sung Woo Choi versus Jarno Aarons. Good fight to begin the night. It's a Sung Woo Choi fight, so what would you expect besides a good fight? And yeah, pretty much for 3 rounds. For 98% of the fight, Choi was just a better fighter. In round 2, Aarons did clip him with a big uppercut that got him to the ground, and that did win Aarons the round, and it was 1-1 going into the third, but in the third, Choi just picked him apart. His leg was destroyed, and Choi could have finished him, but he decided to just easily win the decision, and he did. Yeah, pretty clear 29-28 Choi first and third. And, yeah, probably not much you could say. I think the scorecard's insane. You gotta give Aarons the second for the giant knockdown, but that's what I think. Yeah, really fun fight beginning the night. And let's first talk about Sung Woo Choi, who saved his job here big time. Dude was on a 3-fight losing streak. Probably could have been cut after the Trezano fight, but UFC gave him another chance, and he succeeded. Choi's never been a bad fighter. Let's be honest now. He's never been a bad fighter. I talked about this in Breakdown. If you really look at his losses, Mansour Evloev was his debut. What do you really want him to do against Mansour Evloev? Then he fought Gavin Tucker. That's no walk in the park. He should have beat Alex Caceres if he didn't Piotr Yan him. Kulabov was a decent fighter. Trezano was just one of the most insane fights I've seen. So, and then his wins, yes, all his wins are against very weak competition. The Law is terrible, Erosa has a weak chin, and Aarons ain't very good, but, Choi has shown talent before. He did in this fight we're talking about. But he just had, again, he should have beat Alex Caceres, for being honest. If he didn't Piotr Yan knee him, he would have beat Caceres, which would have been huge. It would have been 4 in a row. And then he would have probably been fighting a ranked guy or someone close to that. But, yeah, he's just, when your debut is Mansour Evloev, what can you really do? So, I can't get mad at him for really. The only bad loss you could really say is maybe Trezano. And even then, Trezano was a great fight and was just a war. So, I'm not even gonna hold that against him. And the good thing about it, he's not losing to these guys that he's beat. Zalal or Jarno Aaron's would be terrible L's on his record. But he's beating those guys pretty clearly, so I'm happy for Choi. Dude always has fun fights. He's still young, he's only 30. And the dude has talent, just he's had some hiccups in the past, and it's really fucked him before. But now he's looking good. He looked great in this fight, and maybe he's really getting on track now. So I'm happy for Sung-Woo Choi. Now to talk about Jarno. I really don't know what to say. I mean, he's not UFC level, I'll start with that. He's not very good. His debut, he got beat by William Gomez, which I don't think is a good L. I don't think Gomez is very good. And then this fight he got dominated by Sung-Woo Choi, which ain't a bad thing. Like, he gotta step up in competition, and he looked worse, which does make sense. But I just don't think he's very good. Fuck, if you were to look at, in his last 2 fights before he got to the UFC, he was 1-1. He lost to dude who was 9-3. So, and like, he fought no one good. So, he's just not a good fighter. He's not UFC level. He's a very okay fighter. He would do good in Bellator or PFL, but he's just not UFC level. So, I don't think he'll get cut yet. I think he definitely should get one more fight. But when he loses, because he probably, I don't know who you could really give him that he could beat, then it's time to cut him and he can go back to wherever the fuck he was before. Because he's just not very good. I really, like, not many people hyping him up, but I did see a few people and he's just not very good. So, if I remember, actually that's a lot, yeah, that was not, as fucking, I thought that was a little closer, because I know Tapology really hypes up, Aaron's, but no, they were actually right on it, so, good for them. But, yeah, not much to say about Jarno. Terrible performance, and maybe give him one more fight. We'll see. But, yeah, right now, much to say about this fight. What a great fight to begin the night. It's a Sung-Woo Choi fight, so what would you expect? And then, now to talk about who they should fight next. For Sung-Woo Choi, you got some options. Sean Woodson would be fun. David Onama would be good. I like that Sean Woodson fight. I think that would be a pretty fun fight. Yeah, like you could do Onama too, but I think I like that Sean Woodson fight. Both very long, lengthy guys, but they fight nothing alike. So it would be very interesting fight. It would be a fun fight, and yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't do that fight. Yeah, it would be a fun one. And now for Jarno, when Tapology actually wants to fucking load, I don't give a fuck that it's being updated. Hello? If this shit doesn't load, I'm gonna be pissed. Thank you. Okay, where's Jarno ranked in this video? If he's not a top 100, maybe you should cut him, Jesus. They probably have him somewhere here. Really? Okay, yeah, I really don't know who Jarno can fight. Like, you gotta give him, you either got 2 options, you got 3 options. I say 2. Give him a layup, or give him someone coming off the Contender Series that will beat him and look good. So, you can have him fight fucking Eric Silva, that dude who got a contract on Contender Series last year and sucked ass. This guy. So, I don't know what you do with Jarno, man. So, yeah, not really much more to say about this fight. Good fight to begin the night, and who should they fight next? I like Sung-Woo Choi versus Sean Woodson, and for Jarno Aaron's, I'm not sure. Choi and Woodson would be a fun fight, and good one for Choi. I'm happy he ain't getting cut. Not very much more to say about the first fight of the night. After that, we go to the very predictable second fight of the night. And actually, I say predictable even though I don't think many people expected the fight to end how it did. as we have J.J. Aldridge versus Na Liang. Well, I don't think anyone was shocked by the outcome of this fight. JJ beat her pretty easily. Wow, two judges gave. Did I remember this fight wrong? Two judges gave Na the first round. I don't remember this fight that well. All I remember from this fight is Na having no striking ever, just trying to do a head and arm throw, and then getting TKO'd. Did she actually win for the first round? Well, good for her. But yeah, Na Liang's not good. I'll talk about Na first. I think she's the more interesting fighter to talk about. She's not good. She's 0-3 in the UFC, and each fight you see why. Cornelowski, she gassed out and got destroyed. Gomez, she just got knocked out. And Aldridge, she just was outmatched everywhere. She's not a good fighter. Literally, my only worry about this fight was JJ getting caught in a sub. Even then, I was not very worried about it. Na Liang is terrible. She is the farthest thing from UFC level. She's not shown one good thing in any of her fights. I swear to God, she's not shown one good thing in it. Watch her 3 fights. What has she shown? A terrible gas tank, a weak, well, I wouldn't say weak chin. Gomez hits like a truck, and nothing besides a head and arm throw. She is garbage, and she needs to be cut. She is so bad, it's not even funny. And then talk about JJ Aldridge, who, might I add, in my breakdown, I for some reason called a wrestler when she's kind of a striker. Good job, me. I know what I'm talking about. She's both. She's a good striker. She's a good grappler, kind of. I don't fucking know. But, yeah. And then, JJ, what do you really say? She had a giant step down competition. She looked great. She beat someone she should easily beat. You went from fighting Jillian Robertson, Erin Blanchfield, Ariane Lipsky to fighting Na Liang. So, if you don't win against Na Liang, there's gonna be an issue. And yeah, she easily beat her. Which again, good for JJ Aldridge. I do think JJ is a very underrated fighter. And she's only 30, and she's good. Her best chance at doing something in the division was when it was very empty and all you had was in the top 5, Jessica Ai, Kaylin Shukagan, Jennifer Maia, etc. Now, with all the talent there is, I don't really see her being a top 15 fighter. But she's the top, definitely 20 to 25. She is not a bad fighter. And again, if you look at her losses, yes, you got 2 bad losses, but then her last 2, she won a round against Erin Blanchfield and lost to Lipsky, who was good again. So, I really just, in every one she's beat, she should easily have beat. And maybe, for Polly and maybe Demopoulos, you can make cases, skill-wise, they're probably better. So, yeah, I'm happy for JJ that she got back in the win column. She needed this, or she was gonna be cut for sure. And yeah, good win for JJ Aldridge, and her first UFC finish out of her 8 wins, which is good for her. Yeah, not very much to say about JJ. If she beat someone she should easily beat. So, yeah, unless I'm beginning to say something, let's talk about who they should fight next. For JJ Aldridge, I like the idea of her fighting Joanne Wood. 2 veterans, 2 of not the most exciting fighters, but fighters who I would say A, are about the same skill level, and B, are good, but they can't beat these younger females. So I think it'd be a fun fight on prelims of a pay-per-view, or maybe a main card of a fight night. And yeah, I think that'd be a pretty decent fight. 2 veterans who I'm a little shocked I've never fought, but yeah, let's book it. And then for Na Liang, like I said, I think it's time for her to get cut. She's not good, and yeah, sorry, nah, but it's time for you to get cut because you just ain't at UFC level. So yeah, we're not much more to say about this fight. Yeah, who should they fight next? I like JJ Aldrich versus Joanne Wood, and Na Lang needs to be cut. Great performance by JJ Aldrich, and yeah, I'm happy she got her first UFC finish. I did not see that coming, and I'm pretty sure, well, actually some people did. I'm definitely shocked by that. But yeah, good for JJ. Not really much more to say. After that, we head to a pretty fun fight in the welterweight division, as we have Billy Goff versus Yusaku Kinoshita. What a fun fight. Billy Goff already putting himself into the list of very entertaining fighters. This dude just walked forward for as long as the fight went and just took damage and gave it back until he finally dropped Kinoshita with a body shot and got the win. Great debut for Billy Goff, who I want to talk about first. And yeah, he looked great. He took a lot of damage early and it looked like he was going to get finished or just really badly beaten. But nah, he hit a perfect body shot and got the win. Goff is a dog, man. Like, on Contender Series, we saw that when he got dropped really bad and came back and won. But now he's even doing that in the UFC now, and it's very impressive. I was very hyped for Goff's debut for a reason, because again, he did show that heart on Contender Series, and he showed it here. He has a great chin, good power, good striking, and he has that heart. Man, he had that fucking heart. He just walking forward and not giving a fuck, which is a fucking fighting style I want to see. Walk forward, either I knock you out or you knock me out. I don't care. And that's a real fighter. I don't care what anyone says. That's a real fighter. Tell me I'm wrong. So, yeah, amazing debut for Billy Goff, man. Yeah, I hope he gets to fight again pretty quickly. He did ask for MSG, so I hope he does fight again quickly. And the dude is good. Dude's only, what, 25? 25. Already has pretty good amount of fights. Gonna be his 12th fight in his next one. And he looks like a really good addition to the roster from last season's Contender Series. I'm very excited to see how he does in the next fight, which I'll talk about who he should fight very soon. To talk about his opponent, Kinoshita, not really sure what to say. He was a dude who looked great in Contender Series also, but he's not been able to translate that to the UFC. Getting beat by Adam Fugit is an awful look. And then Billy, he was looking actually pretty good. He was looking like, oh, maybe Kinoshita's finally looking good in the UFC. We'll get his first win. And proceeds to get body shot finished. I don't know if the dude's not that good, because I do think that Kinoshita has potential. It might be too early for him, though. 23 years old, only his 9th fight. I think it might have been too soon for him to get to the UFC. Cause he has talent, I do think. But he's just young. I think when this dude's 29, 28, 30, he's gonna be pretty good. After he's got double-digit fights under his belt. Like, maybe 20 is the number, like that. But right now, he might not be ready for it. I know he did switch gyms, and he is training with good guys, Gilbert Burns, Shavkat Rakhmonov, etc. But, yeah, you can train with anyone you want. You ain't as good as them. So, I don't think they're gonna cut Kino, give him one more fight, but it's looking like he's probably gonna get cut very, very soon. So, yeah, very disappointing UFC career so far for Kinoshita. And now to talk about who they should fight next. For Billy, pretty good really good debut, and definitely no easy fight in the debut, so I think he should get a decent fight for a second one. And who could it be? You got Josh Quinlan. I like that fight a lot. Ramiz Brahima is always there, but he doesn't fight for some reason. Yeah, I really like that Josh Quinlan fight. Quinlan, another guy like Kinoshita actually, who looked great on Contender Series, but has not done that well in the UFC. I would really like to fight. I think Quinlan and Billy Goff would be a very entertaining fight, and I would really like to see it. So, yeah, hope they book that fight. And then for Yusaku Kinoshita, UFC is gonna do one of two things: either give him one more fight, or they're gonna cut him. I really don't see them cutting him. He's not a bad fighter. I just think he's in the UFC too early. Who could he fight? Jared Gooden, maybe. Shit. I just really don't know. Fucking Preston Parsons, some shit like that. Just a step down. Same thing I said for Jarno Aarons. Just give him a step down. Like, Fugit was a step down, and now Goff was definitely a step up, but he looked worse. Well, no, he looked better, which makes confused. But yeah, not really much to say about this fight. Great debut for Billy Goff, and who should they fight next? I like Billy Goff versus Josh Quinlan, and I like to see Kinoshita get a step down. I don't think he gets cut. Hopefully he doesn't. So, yeah, great debut for Billy Goff. Very excited to see what else he can do in the UFC. After that, we head to another fight at welterweight, and this one was very confusing, strange, annoying. As we got Kenan Song versus Rolando Bedoya. One of the most confusing fights on the card. I don't know really what to say. It was a close fight, but at the same time it was clear who won. In round one it was close. Bedoya did take it. I think I agree. But then the last two rounds Kenan easily won. And it wasn't even funny. Bedoya did not put up a fight, and it made no sense. The whole time, like, the main question I should say, I was trying to say, that I have after this fight is, how bad is Chaos Williams? Dude, Bedoya kinda beat him, and then Bedoya turns around and loses to Kenan Song? How bad is Chaos? Let's be honest, Chaos KOs Kenan, but Chaos loses to Bedoya, kind of, who Kenan beat. MMA will never make sense. Yeah, I want to talk about Bedoya first, because I don't know what to say. How did he look so terrible? Like, he literally looked terrible. He looked like he didn't care. It just made no sense. I'm confused. He looked like he didn't care. He looked like he was okay with what was happening. He clearly lost. And it's just a weird, annoying performance for someone who picked him out. It just makes no sense in the slightest, and I really don't know what to say. I'm very, very confused. To talk about the winner of the fight, Kenan Song. Good for Kenan, I guess. Dude saved his job. He would have been cut if he lost, and he got the win, so good for him. I really don't think Kenan's good, though, and he is, 33? He's not very good. Let's be honest. When he fights, when he fights up in competition now, he's gonna lose again. He just fought a dude who really didn't show up to fight, and it made no sense. Kanan's a very mad fighter. I think he'd be perfect for Bellator or PFO. He's just that he's not bad, but you know he's not gonna do much. That's Bellator and PFO. Pretty much, it's just they suck. But I don't know. Kanan's like, his striking's alright. He has decent power, it seems, but that's about it. Like, his chin's never been much, and yeah, just really fucking weird fight to talk about. And I really don't know what else to say besides, I guess, who should they fight next? Because that's the only thing I could think of to say that would make any sense about this fight. So yeah, let's talk for who could Kanan fight next. I would say give him a pretty decent fight. He did beat a dude who kind of beat Chaos Williams, so I would say maybe give him Nico Price. Yeah, I don't hate that. Nico Price would make a lot of sense. Nico's on a 2-fight skid. Kanan's coming off a win. Yeah, fucking Nico Price and Kanan Song. It makes sense. So yeah, let's fucking do it. Well, it might be a fun fight. So yeah. And then for Orlando, I don't know. I'm so confused by his performance. I'm not even gonna give him a fight idea. I don't think you cut him. If you did, I wouldn't complain, but I would say give him one more fight, and if he does not show up again, you gotta cut him. So I don't know what to say about this fight. So besides, who should Kanan Song fight next? I like him versus Nico Price. And that'd be a fun fight. And yeah, not much to say besides good for Kanan, and I don't know what to say about Bedoya. So yeah, not much to say. After that, we head to middleweight for a fight that was really good. No shocker, but it was a great fight. And we have Michael Olejniczak versus Chidi Bang Bang and Jokoani. Let's talk about this fight from the jump. They went to war. Chidi started off looking amazing. Kneeing to the body, hurting Olejniczak, head kick. For first 3 minutes, Chidi was dominating. Then he shot a stupid takedown. That's when everything fell apart. He shot a stupid takedown, they got up, and Olejniczak just stopped caring. He rushed him, and he started to break Chidi, and after a while, Chidi shot another bad takedown. Olejniczak got on top, ground and pound, and Chidi quit. He pretty much quit. Very good fight for a minute, and then it was just annoying. Chidi quit. His gas tank shit the bed on him. And I'll talk about Chidi first here because his gas tank just kind of failed to exist. He was gassed by the time the fight ended. Somehow. Dude, what the fuck are you doing in camp? The dude was legitly gassed by the 4-minute mark. It's what the fuck? You're a middleweight. Yeah. Very annoyed by Chidi's performance there, and he did quit. And he quit. Those takedowns, I think, pretty much sealed the deal. And he was doing good on the feet, but again, he quit. There's no other way to put it. Chidi's not a bad fighter. Dude's entertaining, he has good striking, great kicks, good knees. But after that gas tank goes away, he quits. It's very Derek Lewis-like. So, I'm very frustrated by his performance here in back-to-back very frustrating performances for different reasons. The Gregory Rodriguez fight was amazing. You can't get mad at that loss. These two, though, like, what do you say? He quit against Oleszejczyk and he didn't show up against Duraev. Two dudes he is better than. He should have beat both of them. But he just didn't show up. It's very, very frustrating. To talk about the winner of the fight, Michael Oleszejczyk. Good for him. This was probably my favorite performance of his where he won. And if he fought like this more often, I'll like him. He did not care. He rushed at him and did not give a fuck. And that was respectable. Like, you rushed forward against a dude who's a killer and you won and you didn't care. So respect Oleszejczyk for this. Like, I was never really sold on Oleszejczyk, definitely around this period. But after this Chitty fight, I'm a little higher on him now. Like, of course he got crushed by Caio, but it's Caio Borrello, come on. This fight was impressive. I definitely got some respect for Oleszejczyk in this one. And he's a fun fighter. He's not a bad fighter. And he's already been making a good wave at in the UFC since the beginning of the 2020s. Like, he's only lost 3 times and they were 2 good fighters. And he's 5-3 in 2020s, and his wins are not great, but they're wins. And his 3 losses, Cruz, that's aging pretty badly, but Jacoby is great, and Cabrera is amazing. So yeah, you really can't get mad at the losses he has on his record, and even his only other UFC one, OSP. In 2019, OSP was still pretty good. So yeah. Props to Oleszejczyk for a great win. Definitely earned the bonus that he got for this. So, yeah, not really much more to say. Besides, who should they fight next? For Michael Oleszejczyk, I would like to see him versus Bruno Ferreira. I think that'd be a great fight. 2 dudes who don't care. 2 dudes are gonna go to war. 2 dudes with completely different bodies, but jacked, skinny as fuck. So that's funny. And yeah, I think that'd be an amazing fight. Bruno's coming off an L. Oleszejczyk, both are 1-1 in their last 2. Why not? Would be a fun fight. You could do it before the end of the year probably, and let's book it. For Chitty and Jokoani, you have he's another one. You got 2 options: cut him or give him one more fight. I definitely give him one more fight, cause for a main reason of you can't get mad at this. Any normal fighter would have got put out, and this was a close fight that you could say he won. So you got that under your belt. This was just terrible. So I think give him one more fight, but against who? Definitely a step down. Like, Claudio Ribeiro would be perfect. Like, that's literally the perfect fight for Chitty and Jokoani. 2 dudes who are just knockout or bust. So that's perfect. I like that fight. Let's do it. Claudio Ribeiro, Chitty and Jokoani. Banger fight. Let's book it. Not really much more to say about this fight. Besides, who should they fight next? I like Michael Oleszejczyk versus Bruno Ferreira. And I like Chitty and Jokoani versus Claudio Ribeiro. Oleszejczyk and Ferreira would be entertaining. Chitty and Ribeiro would be very good. So, yeah, not much more to say about this fight. Great performance by Oleszejczyk. And I'm going to start giving him more respect, because I don't think when was the last time I actually picked Oleszejczyk? Never. I've literally never picked him. That's fucking crazy. I'll fine. I should have picked him here. That was a biased, silly pick, but you get it. I really had no respect for him, Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna start putting the respect on Oleszejczyk's name, so. Yeah. Good win for Michael Oleszejczyk. After that, we had to a fight that shouldn't even fucking happened, if we're being honest. This was just embarrassing. As we have Garrett Armfield versus Toshimi Kazama. Wow. I didn't think it was possible to have Garrett Armfield look like a fucking top fighter, but Kazama really did it. Toshimi really made Garrett Armfield look like a top 15 fighter. I want to talk about Toshimi first, because, dude, this guy's terrible. He's fucking terrible. Like, why is he in the UFC? He should have never got a fight, or a contract after this fight. Rania literally made him look like a fucking idiot. First of all, he said he was going to retire if he lost. Second of all, he fought like a fucking idiot, and he got destroyed. And the weird thing in this fight, he didn't even fight like an idiot. He didn't fight. All he did was fucking throw counters that never landed, and Armfield just beat the shit out of him. Like, he had literally 0 for Armfield. There's nothing he could do. He had nothing for him. Striking, nothing. Couldn't get to the ground. It's game over. He's not a good striker. His ground game might be good. You actually gotta get to the fucking ground. He has no fucking entries. So, yeah, he's fucking terrible. Cut him immediately. Why did he get a contract? It's annoying that they keep giving losers of these finales and shit contracts. Kazama, Zach Pounga, fucking Brogan Walker. Like, I can name 2 fighters who, since Tough has came back and from something like Road to the UFC, I can name 2 fighters who that's actually worked with. Brady Heaston, who lost the finale to Ricky Torcios. Brady's a great fighter. And Andre Petrosky, who didn't even fucking make it to the finale, but they still gave a contract. And that was a good idea. Besides that, everyone else has sucked. And they're gonna keep doing it. They just gave a dude who lost on the Connor Tough a contract to fight Nasrat Haqparas. He's gonna get fucking beat. Enough! If you lose, go away! Why is Contender Series perfect? Because it's win or get the fuck out. It's literally the perfect show. And it's weird these finales are not the same way. So, it's weird. And then for Armfield, that looks nothing like him. I got really little to say. I really don't think he's a good fighter yet. You beat up a dude who literally is a garbage can, so, and I gotta see more before I can really say much about him, so, yeah. No fight idea for this fight because I don't care who Garrett Armfield fights, and Kazama needs to be cut immediately. So, I have little to say. Pathetic performance by Kazama. And to end the prelims, we end it with a knockout I never saw coming, as we have Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Lucas Bresky. Wow, what a knockout by Waldo Cortez Acosta. Vicious shit. So for the first about 2.5 minutes of the fight, Bresky kicked the legs a little bit. It was a pretty close fight, not much happened. Then, Waldo clipped him a little bit and did hurt him. And then he clipped him again, rocked him bad, like made him do a chicken dance. He turned away, started walking the other way, and Waldo just jumped into a hook, back of the head, sent him down face first. Done. What a knockout by Waldo Cortez Acosta. Like, I'll talk about him first. Like, wow, that's the dude we saw in Contender Series. And he looked great. Like, Bresky's a terrible fighter. But Waldo looked great, man. This was the guy we saw in Contender Series. I don't know what has happened to him in the UFC. Like, especially against Vandera and Sherman. He has just looked terrible. De Lima's understandable. But then he comes out and fucking, oh, it's hard to explain what he even did to Bresky in a word. He violated him. He fucking made him DDT himself, for fuck's sake. And it was great. Great knockout by Waldo Cortez Acosta. He still has no idea how to check a leg kick, and I do think that's gonna fuck him in a lot more fights. But he looked good. He ran through the dude he should easily beat. We all knew he was gonna beat him. Just, was it gonna be a decision? Most likely, but it wasn't. So, great shit by Waldo, man. To talk about Lucas, not much I can say. He's not good. Yes, he should beat Martin Budai, but besides that, Carl Williams ragdolled him. Cortez folded him. Just cut him. Just cut Bresky, dude. He's not good. Like, he's literally just lost to other young guys in the division, so it's just really see no point for him to be in the UFC anymore, so just cut him. He'll go in PFL or wherever the fuck he wants to go, and he'll do fine, so whatever. He's not UFC level at all. So, yeah. But besides that, to talk about who they should fight next for Waldo Cortez Acosta, I did see Martin Buday called him out. I really don't see that fight. I'd rather see Buday fight Romanov. And for Waldo, I think he should fight the winner of Nascimento and Dontel Mays. The winner of that fight will be number 15, and I think Waldo should fight the winner. So I like that. I like that idea. Right now enough for Waldo fight. You could always let Arlovsky fight a young guy. Fucking Chris Barnett's always there. Carl Williams. So, but I think he should fight the winner, Nascimento and Mays. I think that makes the most sense. And yeah, not very much more to say. Great performance by Waldo Cortez Acosta. Got complete robbed of a bonus. And, yeah. Who should they fight next? I would like to see Waldo versus the winner of Nascimento Mays. And Bresky needs to get cut. Not much more to say. Great way to end the prelims. So there's the prelims. Not really. It's really good prelims. Great opener. Decent. Great. Confusing. Great. Pathetic. Great. So yeah, a lot of good shit on the prelims. Like, the only bad thing on prelim was this was just pathetic and this was confusing. Everything else was, and the Aldrich fight wasn't that great, but everything else was pretty good. And then we had the main card, which was rocky at points, but overall a pretty decent card. And we begin the main card. Not gonna waste much time on this fight. Went exactly as we knew it would. Junior Tofa versus Parker Porter. Another Tafa caught a body. That dude, Parker Porter, must fucking hate Australians. Both Tafa brothers gotta beat him up and knocked him out in the first round under 90 seconds. In the same year. Fuck. Outside of America. No less. Jesus. Poor Porter, man. Poor man. Not much to say about this fight. To talk about Junior, he did exactly what he should do. And he knocked him out. And yeah, he's not bad. He's not a bad fighter. He's very skinny for the division, which could really hurt him, like it did against Mo Usman. Besides that, he's not a bad fighter. Very young still in his in general and his MMA career. And he's a Tafa brother, so he has good power. For Parker Porter, it's Parker Porter next. To talk about who they should fight next. It is a really simple fight to break down and, well, recap. So, to talk about who they should fight next. For Junior Tafa, you have some options. Who though? He could fight Austin Lane if Lane beats Justin. I like the idea, like, I think Justin should have fought Mo Usman. I like the idea of the brothers fighting whoever beats them. Junior Tafa. Carl Williams would be a good fight. I think I saw someone say Walt Harris. That'd be interesting. Chris Barnett's always there. I'm not sure. I'd give it time. Like, the best fight I could give you is Carl Williams, but I really don't. I think that's an awful matchup for Junior. Maybe I really don't think he's ready for that yet. A really great wrestler, so I'd let that, give it time. And then for Parker Porter, he could fight Walt Harris if Walt ever comes back. Chris Barnett would be fun. Sorry if I keep hitting my mic a little bit. Or he could welcome someone into the UFC from the Contender Series. So you got options. Yeah, Parker Porter, you got options. So yeah, not really much more to say. Junior did the same thing his brother did, and yeah, who should they fight next? For both guys, let's just see what happens. I guess right now we don't got much to say, so yeah, let's see what happens. After that, we had to, on paper, the best fight on their card, and in execution, it was a pretty good fight. And might I add, our first decision, or not first round finish in 4 fights. We have Ern Blanchfield versus Talia Santos. What a interesting fight. Interesting in a good way, man. It was a good fight. It showed a lot about both. In round 1, Talia clearly took it, was able to stuff takedowns to keep it on the feet. In round 2 and 3, pretty much, it was close on the feet, but Ern was able to just manhandle or woman handle her with the wrestling and against the cage and all that, and did get the win. Yeah, Ern had to earn, pun intended, this win, and she answered a lot of questions about Ern. Her striking still needs improvement, but she also was fighting someone great like Talia Santos. Ern has a great gas tank, and she showed she could hang with the best of the best. Talia Santos is a great fighter. Like, she didn't beat Valentina because she sucks. She beat Valentina because Talia Santos is really good. So, yeah, respect to both. Both showed why they are the cream of the crop at women's 125. Like, if I was telling you the best 4 fighters in that division, it'd be Grasso, Val, Ern, and Talia probably. The only other one you can sneak in there is Manon, and I might say Talia is better than Manon. That's a tough question. So, yeah, all this did was make an Ern title shot seem even better, because now we actually seen her tested, and she looked amazing. So, yeah. And then for Talia, she fought a killer, and she took a round off her, man, and she looked good. Talia did pretty good, man. And you can't get mad at this loss. You lost to a great fighter after a year layoff, and you looked pretty decent. So, very good performance by both. Can't get mad if you're Talia. Go back to drawing board and see what happens. And for Ern, let's see how she does in a title fight. To talk about who they should fight next, like I said, of course, Ern's gonna fight for the belt next. She's gonna fight the winner of Grasso and Valentina. There's no debate. You can't do anything else. And for Talia Santos, I really don't know. I would say the loser of Manon and Rose? Probably? Yeah, I would say that makes the most sense. I really don't know who else you could fight. Yeah, the loser of Manon and Rose would make the most sense. So, yeah, let's do that shit. Overall, great fight. Answered a lot of questions about both and who should they fight next. Ern's gonna fight for the belt, and Talia, the loser of Rose Manon. Great fight, and this was high level women's MMA, so you'll always love to see it. After that, not gonna waste your time on this fight. Rinya Nakamura versus Fernie Garcia. Rinya completely destroyed him for 15 minutes. So I think it was 30-26, 30-25. Yeah. Rinya kicked the shit out of him. Not much to say. No fight idea. Rinya's a beast. Fernie needs to be cut. Next. It's just predictable. After that, we have a fun striking match between Giga Chikadze versus Alex Casares. Fun fight. Very fun fight. Pretty predictable fight. Pretty much went how I expected it to go. Giga was just a better striker for 15 minutes. That's the story of the fight. I don't think anyone's shocked by that. Casares is a good fighter, but he couldn't really hang with Giga here. I don't think anyone's shocked by it. Also, Casares did break his right forearm in the first round, blocking a kick, or something like that, so that definitely did not help, but yeah, not really much to say about this fight. It was pretty predictable. I would love to see Bruce Leroy get to win, but I think he's hit his ceiling in the UFC, and it's sad because who doesn't love Bruce Leroy? But what can he do? It was what it was. It was a close fight. He did definitely make it a close fight, but Giga did take it pretty soundly, I think. So yeah, not much to debate and recap here. Who should they fight next? For Giga, I don't know. It's the only fight I like that I see is Josh Emmett. I really don't see, no one else is available right now, and I don't even like that fight too much. I'd rather give it some time, see what happens. He called for Yair. I don't think that will happen. Let's just see what happens in the division, and we can see who he fights. So yeah. And then for Bruce Leroy, he's gonna fight down. He's gonna fight out the rankings again if he doesn't get taken out the rankings, and hopefully they give him a pretty fun fight because he deserves it. So yeah, hopefully they don't give him someone a killer, but I really don't know who they could give him, who would be like, oh no. So yeah, not really much to say about this fight. Predictable, but it was fun. Yeah, not really much to say. Both guys, just see what happens, see who they fight, and good performance by Giga. Giga's back, man. Lots more to say. After that, we head to the co-main event of the evening, the most controversial fight on the card, as we have Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann 2. Very controversial decision. Well, how did I score it? Since it was such a controversial decision. It was clearly 1-1. There's no debate on that part. It was a clear 1-1 going into the third. And the third was so close. Like, you could flip a coin and score the third round. Like, I think at least. It was just so fucking close. I did score it for Spann, like most people did, but I don't think giving it to Anthony is a bad call. You could really give it either way, I think. And it's not a robbery. I'll say that much. It was not a fucking robbery. Let's not get ahead of ourselves now. How do I actually get to fucking saying the stats for this fight? It was not a robbery. I think people who say in robbery bet on it. Bet on Ryan Spann, because it's not robbery. It was an extremely close fight. Let's see. I want to see the round story. 45-27, 45-20. That's interesting. I don't know. It comes out of round 3, and you could score it either way. I don't think you could go wrong with either scorecard. I'm not mad at it. props to Anthony Smith. The dude pulled out a win with a fucked up eye against a dude who hits hard, Ryan Spann. Good for Anthony. I do think he should still retire, but we gotta win. For Ryan Spann, he's not good. His fight IQ is terrible, man. It's crazy how bad his fight IQ is. His gas tank is horrendous. His fight IQ is terrible. He's kind of like Chidi and Jokoani. His fight IQ is god awful when he has no gas. He hits hard. That's it. I don't know how he's in top 15 at light heavyweight, even with light heavyweight. Dude, I'll say right now, Carl Sahlberg is better. Kendi and Nzechukwu is better. Who else is unranked in that division? Fuck, I won't say anyone else, but Alberg and Nzechukwu are better fighters, so it's a shame that they are unranked and he is. So, yet very little to say about his fight besides was it a robbery or a bad score? I don't think so. You could score it either way. 29-28 either side of the coin. I'm not mad at, so I scored it for Spann, but I don't think it's a robbery in any means, so yeah, not very much more to say on that. Who should they fight next? I like Anthony Smith versus Azamat Murzakanov. Azamat needs that big win to get into the higher echelon division. Anthony Smith is always a good gatekeeper. There you go. For Ryan Spann, Dustin Jacoby. I like that fight. He could fight Khalil, Menafield, even Azamat. I'd rather see Khalil fight Menafield. Azamat, I just said he should fight Smith, so I think Jacoby and Spann makes most sense. 10, 15, makes sense. They'll book it. So, not much to say about the fight. It was a decent fight. Props to Smith, the dude that showed lion heart like always. And, yeah, he got the win. If you agree with it or not, it was close. And who should they fight next? I like Anthony Smith versus Azamat Murzakanov. And I like Ryan Spann versus Dustin Jacoby. Both fights make sense. Azamat needs a big win. Spann needs to fight down. There you go. And now for the main event of the evening. One of the saddest main events of the year. Max Holloway versus the Korean zombie Chan Sung Jung. Zombie went out the right way, man. Zombie went out the zombie way. For the first 2 rounds, Max was pretty much a better fighter, like we all knew he would be doing what we thought he would do. Zombie did seem to clip Max a little bit early in the first round and did have him hurt a little bit, but overall, Max was just beating up Zombie. He dropped him early in the second, put in a Darce choke, I believe, and almost got it, but Zombie is gonna zombie, and he got out of it. Then round 3 happened, and out of fucking nowhere, Zombie just said, fuck it. It's time to fight. And for, 23 seconds, he chased Max down until someone dropped, and with a perfect right hand, Zombie dropped, and his career was over. He bounced his head off the canvas, got knocked out cold. Holloway got a finish. I'm as shocked as you are. I'll talk about Max first, since Zombie, I got a good amount to say. Little to say here for Max. This win meant nothing for him. He, besides beating a legend in their retirement fight, did really little for him. And now what do you do with Max? If he does move up to lightweight, I really don't know. If he stays at featherweight, I don't know. Outside of Ilya Topuria, which they ain't gonna do. So, I don't know what they're gonna do. Max is in the weirdest position ever. I've seen people talk about a forced fight with Volk today. Why? It's 3-0. You are literally fighting until Max wins. Enough. So, I don't know what you do with Max. He's still amazing. Like, he is 31. He's not as good as he was, but he's not even that far off from who he was as a champion. Let that sink in. So, the best is still blessed. Now to talk about the man of the show, the man of the hour, the Korean Zombie. Thank you, Zombie, is the first thing to say. What a career. He went out the perfect Zombie way. It would have, him going out in any other way would have not felt right. Him going out in a war, getting finished, getting cut up, getting bloody, just feels right. It feels like what he was meant to do. And he did it. He went out on his shield like the Zombie we know and fucking love him to be. Him going out like Robbie Lawler getting a flawless knockout, or like something like that, what just felt wrong. Him going out there, going to war, fucking getting KO just feels right. And it sucks to him take more damage, but at least it's over. He can't take any more. He's done. Thank God. What a career. So many memories. The Twister, 7-second KO, subbing Dustin, his comeback, this madness, these two flawless fights, his last career win, getting outclassed 3 times. But, and another thing, if his last fight would have went like these two, it would have felt wrong, so. What can you say? Thank you, Zombie. One of the most entertaining fighters ever. Never had a boring fight. Always went in there to fight. Never wanted to have a boring fight, and never wanted. I heard someone say, I forget how they said exactly, but he fought for our entertainment. Like, of course he wanted to be a champion, but he would have rather been an entertaining fighter than, like, been boring and won a belt. Like, literally, looking over his career, the only boring fight he had, like, that I can remember, is the Dan Ige fight. Was pretty lame. Besides that, every one of his fights were great, win, lose, or draw. So, that's the Zombie. Imagine if we actually got him between 2013 and 2017. The shit he would have done. Oh my God, man. He would have... I could not even imagine what he would have done. So, it sucks that we're losing the Zombie, man. But at least he went out in the most perfect way possible. And his walkout to the cage and out of the cage with Zombie playing, beautiful shit. Crowd made that moment special. Them singing the song, it was perfect. Few things can break me, that almost did. That was the perfect retirement for the Korean Zombie, and you love to see it. Thank you for everything, Zombie. Nothing more to say about this fight. Just amazing shit. Well, boom, there's the card on picks. I went 8 of 13, 2 perfect, 490. The ones I got wrong, I'm not mad at, biased, mad at, and mad. I'm mad at these 3 because of the fighter, but whatever. The bonuses were Fire of the Night to Zombie and Holloway, Performance of the Night to Tafa and Olejniczak. I agree with everything. The only thing I would disagree with is Waldo should have got Waldo Cortez Acosta should have got a bonus. Besides that, everything they got right. And yeah, if you missed a card, what would I tell you to rewatch? Pretty much everything. Like, the only things I would say you could skip is Aldridge, Song, Armfield, Rinya. That's about it. Watch everything else. It was an amazing card. Definitely worth waking up early for. You had so many moments. And the best moment of the night, Zombie retiring. Thank you, Zombie. nothing more to say, man. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, sub, 100 subs go by the end of the year. You'll hear from me Friday, 1 p.m. EST for a breakdown of UFC Paris. You'll hear from me Sunday, 1 p.m. EST, or Monday, 10 a.m. EST for a recap. And as always, RX out. Thank you, zombie.